What's up, guys? I'm Krimh, and this is another episode of Krimh's Randomness. My drum set is in its cases and ready to leave, and this can mean only one thing: Krimh is about to go on another adventure. My next stop is the Europe DrumShow in Friedrichshafen, Germany, and there have been some successful runs of the UK DrumShow in the last couple of years, but it's the first time to bring it over to the European mainland. And as I said, it's going to happen in Friedrichshafen, which is on the border of Austria, Switzerland and Germany, on a big lake called the Bodensee. Not only do we have great drum performances there to check out, there will be also a bunch of drum gear. And my Polish bass drum pedal company, Czarcie Kopyto, is going to be there as well. Eugene from Flashgod, Michal from Vader and myself, we three are playing this bass drum pedal for many years, and we got asked to perform on the Czarcie Kopyto booth, and this is going to be the main purpose of this trip. But obviously I'm going to check out the whole drum show and see what's going on there, and you guys can be part of it, so stay tuned. And I better start driving to Friedrichshafen because it is a long way. So see you in a bit. After a long 8-hour drive, I finally made it to the massive Friedrichshafen, where things were already busy. It was Friday and all the exhibitors were getting their hands dirty setting up their booths. I searched for the Czarcie Kopyto stand and found it at the back of the building, right next to Tama drums and Mindel cymbals.
Cześć! Oh, hello! Hey!
Cześć! Everyone is here.
Cześć, Radek!
Cześć.
Jak tam?
After saying hi to all my friends, it was time to help the guys with the setup. Looking around, you could tell that companies had invested quite a bit in making their booths look as fancy as possible, and Czarcie Kopyto was no exception. They installed massive banners with all their endorsers, stage lights, a sound system for our performance, a huge TV, and covered the whole area with black carpet. Everything to showcase their custom bass drum pedals made in Poland. Meanwhile, I started to bring in my drums.
Things are taking shape. It's already getting noisy, as you can hear. People are testing the drums and the gear because, everyone wants it to sound perfect. We're almost done with the Czarcie Kopyto stand. Władek is right now setting up the lights, and afterwards we're going to put the carpet, and it's going to be my drum set over here. Also, we have Michal from Vader already. He has arrived. So he's one of the drummers who's going to play some songs here on the stand. We just wait for Eugene, but I think he will arrive today.
Yeah.
Yes.
At night.
At night, yeah. So he's the last one to arrive. But yeah, things are going well. Just waiting until the stand is ready, and then it's time to set up the drums.
Once the drums were set up and mic'd, the only thing left was a short sound check. Since all three of us were playing on my drum set, I wanted them to get used to the setup. Luckily, Michal and Eugene play a similar configuration, so we only had to swap out cymbals, snare and pedals.
So the first day is done. We're almost at the end. The guys are just putting some more test pedals. We set up the drums, we did sound check, and we realized it's super loud in there. And tomorrow it's gonna be fun because apparently on the full hour you can always make sound for 15 minutes. And of course we won't be the only ones testing drums. So it's gonna be a little bit of a battle between, the sound and the drums. But otherwise, really looking forward to this. It's super cool to be part of this drum show because so many colleagues are playing, so many familiar faces, so many of my drum gear partners are here. I saw Promark, I saw Tama drums, Michal cymbals, of course, Czarcie Kopyto. So it's great to be part of it and I cannot wait. We have half an hour left and then we go back to the hotel, get some rest so that we are fresh for tomorrow. Yeah. It is Saturday and this means it's the first day of the drum show. We just had breakfast. The whole thing starts at 9 a.m. and my first performance is gonna be at 10 a.m. and then I'm doing one more at 11 and then we're gonna switch. Eugene takes over and at the end Michal. So we go to the supermarket right now, grab some food and then it's time to warm up and blast the whole place away because probably we're gonna be the loudest. Let's have some fun, let's make some noise.
Servus.
Servus.
Servus, Alter.
Let's go inside.
The Europe Drum Show officially kicked off, and the first visitors were roaming around, eager to try out some drum gear. As the full hour approached, the noise began to build, and it was time for my performance.
Say hello to Krimh. Hello, Krimh.
The sound of the horn signaled that the 50 minutes of hell were over. We always performed 2 songs in a row before waiting another hour for the next round, and this continued through the whole day. In the meantime, Eugene received a new pair of Czarcie pedals and they turned out absolutely gorgeous.
Oh my God! Look at this beauty. Unbelievable.
With Tama and Michal right next to us, I had to check out their booths as well. I felt like a kid in a toy store, wanting everything on display. So many shiny cymbals and stunning drums. Pure heaven for any drummer. One of the main attractions at the Europe Drum Show was definitely the performances by drum legends such as Steve Smith, Mickey D, Benny Grapp and even Christoph Schneider from Rammstein, who gathered quite a line at the signing session. Next up was Eugene playing some songs from his band Flash God Apocalypse.
just checking out the parts that I have to fix and post.
Let's see what's happening in the other corners of the convention.
Because in the 70s, Motorhead was more towards the punk era, but a lot of rock and roll. But when I joined the band, we were probably pulling more to the hard rock. What I was trying to do with Motorhead was, when you walk in and see a big picture and it's black and white, but if you look at it long time, you can see some red and some green and some blue, but the overall impression of this picture is black and white. But if you go close, you see some color in it too.
In the meantime, Michal was blasting everyone's face off at the Czarcie Kopyto booth.
How did you feel today?
It was loud,
Yes.
it was chaos, but it was a lot of fun. It was lovely.
It was. We are very grateful to be here. It's awesome to be in this place because everyone is here, kind of. All the brands are here. You meet all the cool people, and yeah, for a drummer, it's kind of highlight to
Honestly,
perform.
yeah, you know, in a way, there's like, even if there are like 5-10 people, whatever, that are watching you, or you meet the important people here who are in business, sometimes it feels like it's more touching and humbling than having a crowd of 1,000 people at the festival. Like, this is a very special and unique experience.
Yeah, it's something else
It's really
because
something
there's no
else.
band. We
Yeah,
are
exactly.
alone.
Exactly.
We're alone on
So you
stage.
feel somehow even more responsible for everything that's happening. It was super stressful. Honestly, super stressful, although it shouldn't be, because the songs we play them so much.
But they're different. It feels different.
Any drummer or musician who can do something like this, have a chance, do it, because I think it's a very cool experience.
For today, it's enough, my friends.
We're gonna go swim in the lake.
Maybe Eugene is going to swim
We're
in
gonna
the
have
lake.
pizza and then gonna go swim in the lake.
But tomorrow the madness continues, so stay tuned for more noise.
It's the last day of the Europe Drum Show, and exhibitors were busy getting their booths ready for another day of trying out and testing.
Guten Morgen, der Herr. Guten Morgen. Bist du wieder fleißig am Arbeiten?
Ja. Gute Stimmung ist das halbe Leben. Ja,
Ja, das stimmt. Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen.
Unfortunately, Eugene had to leave after the first day, so Michal and myself took over the performances. Since everything was already set up for Michal, we decided he would play at 10 and 11 a.m. After checking all the lines, we just had to wait for the clock to strike 10 before unleashing hell once again.
So we have two performances of Michael at 10 and 11. So thank you for watching. Michael, let's do this.
the cool things is that Władek brought some ancient Czarcie Kopyto pedals. He brought my first set I ever got from him, and you know what? It still works even after so many years. We also have from Inferno, they're more or less straight off the stage.
With it. And I think as an educator, it's my responsibility to make sure you stay interested in playing drums. Tuning falls into that category. Does anybody here like tuning drums? All right, we got a couple weirdos over here, but on an electronic kit, we have the ability to change to a jazz kit for the jazz student. And now this sounds appropriate.
Even though the day already felt long, surrounded by all the noise and people, I still had my performances ahead of me. It was time to get ready, so I sat down behind my practice pad and started to warm up.
That was intense. I just finished my last performance. I played 3 performances today. Didn't have so much time to film, but it was awesome. I'm really happy. Good crowd. And because we are the loudest, I'm sure everyone heard us. I'm heading right now to see Dirk Verbeuren because I had only the chance to see one drummer yesterday. And that's why I'm going to see Dirk, my Tama buddy and my own buddy. And I'm sure he's gonna slay. So yeah, let's hear some metal drumming from the pros.
This is Dirk Verbeuren!
Yeah!
So really the biggest thing, outside of what I told you earlier about just following your passion and making it happen no matter what, it's really here. Most of us at least, have like a voice in our head that tells us maybe we're not good enough, or, oh, am I gonna be able to do this? Or you're just afraid, right? So what are people gonna think if I fuck up, or, if I mess up a song, or if I drop a stick or whatever? Like you're afraid of that. It's natural. We all have that to some degree, except maybe the lead singers, but and so your state of mind, for me, it's 90%. Of course you have to practice, but really thinking about your mental health and you know, how you perceive yourself and how you perceive what you're doing. It can make all the difference, you know. So if there are people among you, you know, who have those kinds of thoughts sometimes or who feel like they're inadequate, we're all very capable, you know. And a lot of times we have to convince ourselves more than anything else. We have good days and bad days. It doesn't matter how many times you play. You know, in the middle of a tour, after playing 20 shows, all of a sudden, the 21st show sucks. Like, I play like shit. Like, what the hell, you know? Why is this happening? It's normal. So you have to accept it, you know. And I used to really beat myself up. And now I just go on stage with this state of mind. I'm gonna do the best I can. And whatever the best is tonight, that's gonna be it. Some night it's gonna be 98%. Some night it's gonna be 80%, whatever, you know. Like, I could have done better, but I did my best. I tried, I really put my energy and my soul into it. And, you know, I've learned to accept that about myself, that that's the way it is. I do the best I can. So, anyways. Thank you.
So the time has come to say goodbye. Everyone starts to break down their beautiful stands. It was a pleasure to be here. It was awesome to play here on the European Drum Show 2025. I hope it will happen again next year. It's time to pack my drums and drive back home. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. See you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. So take care of you guys. See you. Bye-bye.